Hello, 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 good evening, good morning, wherever you're tuning in from. You're welcome to this week's weekly outlook with Great White FX for the 8th to the 12th of April 2024. And as always, this is being sponsored by Trading Pro, prolific, proficient, professional trading together as one. So Trading Pro in partnership with Great White is offering you an opportunity to learn and earn at the same time. What do I mean? With a minimum deposit of 20, with a minimum deposit of $20, you gain access to trainings 4 times a week, trade calls in the community, and also trade ideas and London and New York session outlook every day of the week. So that with just a minimum deposit of $20 grants you all that. So it's a wonderful offer. Instead of having to pay a monthly subscription, you could take up on that advantage. So with that, let's get down to, and Trading Pro is a regulated broker. They've been around for close to 7 years. So let's get down to what we have going into the new week. Going into this new week, Monday is going to be calm. Tuesday, basically the calm before the storm, because on Wednesday, we're going to have New Zealand cash rate statements, core CPI, USD CPI, then CPI. This news is almost as if powerful as the non-farm payroll. Then we have monetary policy on the Canadian dollar. Then FOMC meeting minutes on Wednesday. So you see, Wednesday is really packed. Then we have Thursday. Thursday has Euro monetary policy statement and core PPI on the same Thursday. Then Friday we have British pound gross domestic product. So Monday, Tuesday is going to be pretty calm, but the activity starts from Wednesday, Thursday on to Friday. So with that settled, let's get down into our charts. So as always, we're going to start off with the US 100, starting off with the US 100. If we look at this from the weekly, we can say that this is bearish, but you must note that price is within the body of this big bullish candle. Price failed to close above 181,481, created this big range candle, and we've had almost going to the third week of activity within its high and its low. So we need to be aware of that. So what do we expect? So going into the intraday, and the weekly closed as what looks like an engulfing, because if you look at it, it spiked this previous high and closed back, but didn't close near its lows. So that means that going into this new week, the possibility exists that we might see a bit of an up move before a continuation to the downside. So as you can see, if we put in my indicators, we can see we have a break here. So if you look at this, this is like a retracement on this big impulse move. So price has 2 options here now. Depends on what they intend to do. If they should drop, you watch this 4-hour fair value gap to push price higher. But as long as price does not close above 18465, this may still move back to the downside. So if it retraces, if it drops and finds support within this 4-hour, you're going to be buying the bullish move up. So that's a retracement of this impulse move. That's why we need to be aware of that. So if you're going to be looking for a short, you'll be waiting at this last up close candle before the down move. So that will be the order block that was used to break this loop. So next we're going to be looking at is the dollar index. The dollar index is in a bit of it's still looking, if you look at this from the monthly, we can see that the monthly had the long upper wick, but price has already swept this range high and is pulling back inside. So if we go down to the weekly, we can see that the possibility exists that price may still move down into this fair value gap on the weekly, probably a consequent encroachment, which is 50% of it. And if you notice, we have this order block here. So the possibility exists that price may come down into the 50% of this bullish order block before a continuation to the upside. If we drop down to the 1 hour, to the 4 hour, and if you put in the annotations, the possibility exists that price may come into this area here before a continuation to the upside. So I'm still slightly bullish on this pair, but we might see a bit of a down move before a continuation to the upside. So the next one we're going to be looking at is the Euro USD. The same thing too with the Euro USD. The possibility is that we might see a bit of an up move on this pair before a continuation to the downside. If you look at it long term, you would notice that he's not making, with the exception of here, he's not making significant new highs. It's not making any significant new highs. So for this pair going into the new week, a retracement might offer an opportunity for a long, because if you look at it, price is within this point here. So if it retraces and gives bullish evidence, you might take a long opportunity, gunning for 1.0876. That's where you'll be looking at. But long term, this pair is still down. Well, we might see a short-term bullish move on this pair. That's for the Euro USD. The next pair we're going to be looking at is the GBPUSD. The same thing too with the GBPUSD. The GBPUSD, if we look at it on the weekly, there is this fair value gap here. You can see that fair value gap there. It might be coming into this area. That's where it might be coming into. So if we go down to the daily, and already see we have an order block here. Price has reacted from it. So most likely this may be coming into here on the daily. If we look at it on the 4-hour time frame, on the 1 hour, you'd wait to see, because on the 1 hour, it's within this order block here. This last up candle before this down move. So you would wait for a move down, maybe into any of these order blocks, then for a bullish move, probably here or 26.83. But going into this new week, we might see a bullish run before a continuation on the downside for the pound USD. Next pair is gold is officially bullish. It's just taking out all its highs. So what you'll be waiting for going into this new week on this pair is buy into the retracements. That's if you want to stay on the side of the trend, you'll be looking for longs. But if price gives you an opportunity for a short, because if it is to retrace, it needs to go down. So you'll be watching a move below 23.20. That's if price does something like this, comes back below here, then you can take a short down there. But if you're taking the short, you'll be well aware that it's a retracement to move higher. So that's what you need to have at the back of your mind. So the next one we're going to be looking at is EURGBP. EURGBP, I just can't say what it intends to do. It's just basically in an ugly range. Just basically weeks on both sides. It hasn't made up its mind on what it intends to do. But the possibility is that with this candle formation setting up, we might see a move higher. But it's not yet clear. If we go down to the daily, it's not yet clear because we are having weeks to the upside which is not good for a bullish run. So we would need to wait and see, because long term, this is still down on the daily, but it's gradually building a retracement, probably to come into this area. But it's not, like I said, it's not very clear yet. So the next one we're going to be looking at is GBPJPY. Looking at this pair from the weekly, this pair is in a range. As you can see, it's bullish, but it's in a range for now. Price is within the body of this candle, and you can see 1, 2. So we're going into the third week of trading within this candle's body. If we go down to the 4-hour time frame, this might still the possibility of an up move is still there, because this is the daily range, this low to this high. Price has retraced into this daily order block, and there's a movement, daily fair value gap. So you can see, created this order block. This order block has held with the fair value gap. So if we go into the 4-hour time frame, price is within here. So it depends on what price does. If price tries to fill this, then you'll be watching for long opportunity within here. So you'll be waiting for a retracement, depending on what it does, for a retracement to fill up this area on the GBPJPY. The next pair we're going to be looking at is the Euro Yen. The same thing too. If you look at the Euro Yen on the weekly, the Euro Yen is sitting within this big range here. It's sitting within this big range. So same thing, dipped into this weekly fair value gap and bounce. If you go to the daily, this is holding with this other block here. 4-hour time frame, price is within this point here. So you will not be looking to take a long here. What you'll be waiting for is a retracement into this point, then an up move first to 164.65 and probably 164.91. So any questions? Anybody with any questions before we call it a night? So in the absence of any question, I wish everybody a beautiful night's sleep and a lovely trading day ahead. So thank you all for coming, and good night.